Hello, boys and girls. It's Miss Angela. And what do I have here? Does anybody know what kind of bird this is? It's a very colorful bird. It's a very big head. I didn't think I'd get it on the video. But it has kind of feathers on the top. And it's very colorful. Now, I'm going to put it over here. And if I had the whole costume, I would have big feathers behind me, just like almost like a turkey, but it would all be in purples and blues and that kind of color. You got it. It is a peacock. So we are going to draw a peacock today on day 120 days we're at. So let's go ahead and grab our pencils, our papers, our colored pencils, everything you have, and let's go ahead and start drawing a peacock. A peacock is a very beautiful bird. Now, usually when it puts its tail feathers up, they're really, really big behind them. And but we're going to draw it where it's kind of dragging its feathers behind it. And their feathers look like almost like they have little eyes in them sometimes. So grab those paper and pencils and colored pencils, markers, everything you got, and let's get going. I'm going to grab my marker. These masks are really, they do something to my hair, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this right over here where we can see it. I had to move it out of the way because that peacock head is so big. All right, let's move it down so we can see everything. Can we see the whole canvas? Okay, here we go. Again, I'm using a marker. You're using probably a pencil, so you can erase if you make mistakes. I'm kind of like stuck. I put it on there, and that's the way it's going to be. So our peacock, the body of it, like we're going to put the head and the body up here, and then we're going to have the tail come all the way down and swish down the bottom. All right, you ready? All right, let's do a little head. We're going to do kind of like a little circle. Little circle just like that. But it doesn't really meet. See, I left a little opening there? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put his beak on there right now. I'm going to have our little peacock kind of looking down with that big beak of his. His or hers, I don't know. I keep calling it whatever. So there you go. So it's almost pointing straight down. So let's go ahead and give it a very long, slim, beautiful neck. So it's almost like I'm drawing an S. But I'm going to go down like this. And then I'll stop. It's like a swan. And then I'll go over here and I'll make another one, but I'm going to come all the way down and make it till it goes to its body. So it's got a very graceful neck. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make, I'm going to make its body. But at the end, I'm going to swirl up and give him some curls. This will be his tail. So see how I did that? I just made a whole lot of swirls at the back. Take your time, and if it's not exactly like mine, that's okay. Remember, you're the artist, so you do it your way. Now I'm just going to add a line kind of down here that kind of shows like his body's ending, but I don't really have to edit it because I want to put some feathers on there. I wish I had some feathers I could show you what a peacock's feather look like, but we're going to draw them. They're going to look like teardrops. We're going to give the illusion of them. We're not going to draw the big line and put feathers down it like you think of a feather. We're just going to do like a teardrop shape. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make one here, just like that, and they're all going to go down. And they're going to be different sizes. See how I'm doing it? And then I'll put another one maybe here. And take your time. Put them wherever you want to. You can put them in pencil, so if you have them in the wrong spot, you can always change it later if you think, oh, I don't like it there. I'm going to put another one right here. See how I'm just kind of filling it up? I'm going to put another one here. And another one here. Look at all those teardrops. These are going to be beautiful. Now, right now, it doesn't look too much like a peacock, but it will as we work on it. Another big teardrop shape there. And one there. Let's do another one here. Now I'm going to start to turn it, so it's going to go kind of off of our paper a little bit. It's kind of fun making these shapes. And then let's get a couple more. This one, I want to really start making it feel like it's like kind of ending now. So it starts here on the body and goes down. Then I might even make another little one right here. Just a tiny one. So now it feels like his feathers are all going down from this back. Now inside of all of those feathers, I'm going to make another shape. So I'm going to make the same shape, but I'm going to make it smaller. Same shape, but smaller. This should keep you busy. This is how it's going to look like a peacock and not look like a turkey. Now, trust me, Thanksgiving's coming up in the United States, so we're going to be having a turkey pretty soon. We're going to be drawing a turkey in a couple weeks. Oh, look at that. Now that's really, really starting to look like a peacock. All right. Now inside of every one of those, we did a teardrop, we did a littler teardrop inside of it. Now we're going to put a dot in the middle. Almost look like an eye in them. So I am going to put, let's see if I can get my marker to work a little smaller. I'm going to put a dot in the middle of every single one of the tiny teardrops. It could be pretty big. Looks like eyes looking at you. Maybe that's why they do it. I should have investigated a little bit. Maybe that's what you can look up. Why peacock's feathers look like they have eyes on them. Maybe it's like when you see an animal, it has like a fish or something, it has spots on it, so it makes it look bigger. It makes it look like it's looking at its enemy. Who knows? I should have looked this up. It's very interesting when you start drawing things. You start wondering why they look a certain way. Okay. We are going to put an eye. We're going to give it a kind of a shape of like almost like a human eye. So it's going to be like a football. But remember, his face is going down that way. So we want the eye to go that way too. Just like that. And then I'll put a little line in it. We'll have a little line. And then he's got the little feathers on top of his head. Just like this one. See the little feathers? So we're going to put the feathers on the top. But we're going to make ours simple. We're going to make a line up. And we'll make about 4 of these. Make them nice and thick, so if you're drawing with a pencil or something, you're going to make them thick. And then we're going to just put some poofies on the top. There we go. Now, before I put this away, I think I'm going to get fancy pants here. And because I want it to look just a little fuller down here. I call it fancy pants. I'm sure that's not an artistic term, fancy pants, but we're going to use it here anyway. Now I'm going to put a couple swirls, swirly curlies. That's another non-art name, but let's call it that anyway. All right, so we're going to go down. We're going to give it a swirl. And maybe, oh my gosh, maybe we can do another swirl here. We're just making it look, I don't know what the word for, fancier or more filled in. So any place that you think, oh my gosh, it could probably use something. And down here, we could do one this way and one this way that really ends it. See how it kind of fills in the feather area? If you put some of these in there. And then every so often I didn't put some close together, close enough, so. All right, I think that'll do it. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. Maybe another one right here. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and color. Now, our main colors are going to be blue, purple, green, and yellow. So I'm going to start with the yellow right now. And I'm going to do yellow. I'll do the beak first. We're going to make our peacock have a yellow beak. And then I'm going to put the little dots, all those little dots we put on there, I'm going to try to make them yellow. So it's going to take a little bit of time to go back and find out where you got them all. I don't even know how many feathers I made. And really the feathers are very long feathers and they have these at the end of them, but we're doing ours a little stylistic, so it looks like what it's supposed to be. But we don't have to draw the entire feather. I missed a dot in the middle, so I'm going to grab my marker real fast and do a dot right here. There we go. And then I'll fill it in. And over here. And there. And another one. And another one. Okay. Now I am going to take a green. And I'm going to do the next inside part of that. So we've got the yellow dot. I'm kind of working from the inside out this time. So I'm going to put some green in here. Green in the little dot. Oh, I didn't even think a bigger one out there. When you start coloring in, you realize the things you missed. So has anybody ever seen a peacock up close and in person? I have. I went down to a place in New Jersey. There was a wonderful museum and everything was outside. It's called the Grounds for Sculpture. It's really, really cool. If you ever get down there, you'll want to try to see that. Everything is huge, bigger than life size. So they try to bring the pieces of artwork like a painting to life that you can actually walk up and be in the painting a little bit. So it's a really neat place. But there they have a lot of peacocks just around on the property. And they walk around, and I was walking over a bridge, and I thought, oh, that's a really neat sculpture. It looks like a real peacock. It moved, and then it put its big feathers up in the back, so it was pretty awesome. So they are beautiful, beautiful birds. All right. Oh my gosh, this is going to take me a while to get all these. I didn't think about this when I was making all these feathers, that I had to color them all in. All right, almost done. All right, the peacock head I wore is mainly blues. So I am going to paint, or should I say color, in my peacock mainly blue. So let me grab the blue. And I am going to color, ooh, that's a bright blue. Sometimes I get surprised, I don't even know what color I grabbed. All right, I'm gonna go around the eye. I don't wanna get anything in his eye. I wanna give him a nice white eye, and as I said that, I just colored right inside of his eye. That's a pretty blue, I like this blue. We're gonna use a little purple in here too. That's why I told you we'll use purple too. And I'm coloring kind of fast. And you can take your time and do it much better. By now, at 120 days, you should be really good at this. All right, here we go. Now we're coming down the home stretch with his body. Makes me very tired being sideways drawing. Probably easier for you because you probably have this down, your paper down on a piece of, on the table or on a, something like that, that it's flat. Drawing up like this is kind of hard sometimes. When I have children at the art studio and they're painting, sometimes they go, oh, my arm hurts, because I make them paint on an easel like this. And they're not used to coloring or painting, should I say, like up and down, straight up and down. They're used to having it on a table. All right. Now I got to decide what I'm going to do with the outside of these leaves. Oh my gosh, with the outside of these feathers. I think I'm going to make some purple and some blue, just for something different. So I'm going to make this feather purple, although I really like that purple. Let's try a little bit of both. Let's do, see, notice I make it up as I go along too. I don't have this all planned out. I just start drawing and think, oh, that looks pretty nice. Maybe we'll do it in this color. As you know, sometimes I don't have the right colors out even. I have to go get colors and... All right. So I'm doing purple right now. I'm skipping around a little bit, leaving a few of them open so they can be blue. And I'm going to move over to this side because it'll be easier to color this side. And I'll move this over. Oh, what's one do we want to do? Maybe this one. And we'll do this big one purple. And then we're going to switch over to our blue. It's a beautiful peacock. All right, let's go to blue. And I'm going to put some blue ones in here. We want it to be very, very colorful. If you don't know what a real peacock looks like, you should go on the internet and look it up and look up a real picture of one. They're beautiful, beautiful birds. Sometimes when their feathers come out, people like to take them. Sometimes in the olden days, they used to put them in their hats. When women wore hats more, they'd have a peacock feather in there because they really are very, very pretty. Where my daughter lives, there's always a lot of pheasant, and they have big, beautiful feathers too. Not as pretty as a peacock, but she'll collect those sometimes. She has some pheasant feathers. They're kind of pretty and colorful. Me, I have pigeons at my house. There's always pigeons on my roof, on my studio roof. And I go outside and feathers will fall down like it's snowing sometimes. There's so many pigeons up there. I don't know. I don't mind them. They're birds. They're little creatures, so I don't mind them being around. And I have probably the bird feeders always kind of attract them too. So I always have bird feeders around. All right, now I'm going to try to make my peacock look a little more. I'm going to put a little purple up in my peacock. So maybe I'm going to put a little purple under his neck and maybe bring it right down along the front of him. This will give him kind of a cool look. It's kind of shading and shadowing. See how it gives it kind of a different look? You don't want to color the whole thing in purple again, but you can do certain parts of it purple. Maybe we're going to do the tail. We'll do a few little purple parts on the tail. Maybe down in here. Maybe I might even color in a little tiny bit. Give the illusion that his body goes down farther. There we go. And what are we going to do? Maybe a little on his back. What do you think? And now don't forget the top. I'm going to make this purple up on the top. His feathers on the top of his head. And I think that is about it. And you can always play around with a little more purple. Put it in with the blue. You can blend colors. So one nice thing about crayons, you can always blend and do whatever you want to do. And if you wanted to, you could take these purples and you could do some more swirls in here if you want to. Do them in purples and whatever color. You can do them in greens too if you want to. Just add some more and make it fun. You can get wild and they can go over the top of one another. They don't have to be right, you know, everything have to be separate. I'm just kind of having fun and putting them everywhere now because it kind of fills it in and makes it look like a beautiful bird. Whoops, that doesn't look too much like a swirl. That looks more like a circle. All right, and I might even grab my green and do a couple on there. Couple little green ones. All right, whoa, I just dropped my crayon. All right, boys and girls. So next week is week 121. Now, I don't know what we're going to do, but I got a lot of costumes set aside so we can keep doing this. Some really neat ones. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Peter Rabbit or something like that. I don't know. Don't bank on it. We'll see. I've had a request for a couple things, so we're going to see if I can work those in there too. So we will see you next week. Remember, what I tell you every week, I want you to be safe, number one. I want you to be kind to each other, really important. Listen to your parents, and I want you to stay creative, everyone. So I'll see you next week for day 121. See you then, everybody. Bye-bye now.